Okay, no video in 4 days, I think. I am sorry about that. I promised you a video on Tuesday and I was actually gonna make this video then, but my my health really didn't let me do so. I think I said it on the Sunday commentary, I wasn't really healthy at that point, but it's even worse now. Like it was worse in the past 4 days, sorry. My throat was basically dead, I really couldn't talk too much anymore, and that's the reason why I haven't been uploading, and I hope you can forgive me for that. So what I plan on doing now that I have holidays is get a lot more into the patch and give you tips on what works a lot better now after the patch and what I recommend using and what I recommend you not using. And we're gonna start off with the LMGs, and what you see here is some pre-patch footage. I'm using the grip on an LMG, which is a complete no-go now, but I'm gonna get to that later. And basically the reason why I'm doing this is because people have been quitting the game simply because they can't use the guns anymore, which I find pretty ridiculous. So let's get on topic a little more. The first thing you're gonna notice if you're, well, you're probably not gonna notice it, but it's pretty ridiculous, is the suppression now. Suppression is a lot stronger now after the patch, and especially as a support class, suppression is a lot more useful right now. If you fully suppress an enemy, he's not going to be able to hit you anymore, basically. The spread is going to increase at about 200%, I think. I don't really know about that number. And you're also going to get a lot more recoil if you're being suppressed. This means that if you see an enemy shooting at you, just start spraying. Even if you're in a bad position, just hip fire towards him and get in cover. Because he's not going to have basically not going to hit you anymore. It is ridiculous how suppression now makes you very, very inaccurate. So definitely use the suppression perk. It is kind of crazy, and I'm gonna have a video in the description that shows you what suppression can do right now. It is definitely one of the most useful things for the support right now, and it's a little bit over the top if you ask me, but I'm trying to give you the best guides here and what helps you the most. So as I said, suppression definitely is a lot stronger now, so use it to your advantage. Now, let's get into attachments a little more. And the first thing that we're gonna cover basically is the sights. Now, with the sights, there's a lot of personal preference going on, of course, and I myself, especially on the big LMGs, like the belt-fed LMGs like the M60 PKP, I love to use the Cobra sights. The Cobra is just, I don't know, it seems to be a lot more effective for me to use the Cobra. Works really well. But I also see a lot of people using the holographic sights or even the red dot. If that works for you, go ahead and use it. I'm just gonna say that now with the increased recoil of LMGs, using a zoomed optic is probably not gonna help you anymore. This is just my opinion. At least I have a lot of trouble controlling my LMG when I'm zooming in on like an ACOG scope. I really can't hit any fucking broadside of a barn anymore, let's just say it like that. So as for sights, I mean, on the M27 it doesn't really matter, you can use whatever you want, but on guns like the M60 I think that an unzoomed scope is the best. Some of them can even be used with iron sights, like the gun I'm using right here, the M240B, has pretty decent iron sights, a lot of people love them. Or the saw can also be used with iron sights. This is of course if you play a little more aggressive. Which means what I still can't do is sit back with my bipod. That's one thing I just never will be able to, because I need to run into the enemy's face. And if you use a bipod at all times and you always prone down and use the bipod to shoot people, zoomed scopes are not bad. But if you're a player like me that at least post-patch now uses the bipod only in good situations where it's really helpful, like prone down, set up on a choke point, you can use a zoomed scope. But to me, still being an aggressive player and moving up with your team, sometimes not being able to fire from a bipod, definitely wouldn't recommend a zoomed scope. So that's basically for the sights. Now the next attachment slot only contains the bipod and the grip, and I'm just gonna tell you, do not use the grip anymore. Most of the LMGs don't have a high sidewards kick, But that's not the problem. The problem is that the grip now makes you less accurate, and you can't afford that if you're using an LMG. Being less accurate really makes your spread go like all over the place, and to me the grip is not worth it anymore, especially with the low horizontal recoil. Rather use a bipod. The bipod is definitely the way to go now. Just set yourself up on positions, or just spray at enemies if you're not set up at the moment. Works a lot better right now. As I said, grip is just a no-go. And what also is a no-go in my opinion now is the silencer. The silencer also gives you more spread, and I mean it reduces the recoil, but as I said, more spread never is good on an LMG, and I definitely would recommend you use that. Now, in the last attachment slot we also have both the tactical light and the laser pointer, and this might just be my opinion, but I do not think that they're really worth it. I see some people using the flashlight on Metro. Works pretty well. I mean, you can't really just like blind your enemies with it. If you want to use that, go ahead. And if you hip fire a lot with the LMGs, go with a laser pointer. But to me, I'm always one of those persons who prefers a extended mag. Having 200 rounds is a lot more valuable to me than having a blinding light. Now, this is some sort of also personal preference. What they changed greatly though, and what is a lot more useful right now, is the flash suppressor. And the flash suppressor does now reduce vertical recoil without giving you a accuracy penalty. It gives you some hip fire penalty, but that really doesn't matter. If using an LMG, you should be aimed down sights at all times, I guess, unless you're suppressing someone. So sorry. The flash suppressor is a lot more valuable. If you're having trouble controlling the recoil, if you're using extended mags, try a flash suppressor, as it definitely is a way better attachment now. And I guess if you're using a bipod and a flash suppressor and setting up positions, you're gonna be able to definitely do a lot of damage with a low recoil and clearly not being that visible on the map, not on the map, but on the screen anymore. So flash suppressor is definitely a better choice right now than it used to be before. Now, to quickly summarize all what I've said, because I think that's all the attachments I have to cover. Go with bipod, go with suppression, perk of course. Extended mags or flash suppressor, in my opinion, are the best third slot attachments to use. However, if you want to use the other ones, it's of course up to you. I would not recommend silencer and grip. And as for the sights, just my personal preference, I always go with an unzoomed scope, and the Cobra in my opinion really works well. So basically, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. As I said, I'm sorry for not uploading for quite a while, and my time's running out in this gameplay. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to get post-patch footage for the next one. If you like the idea, drop me a comment. If you don't like it, tell me and I'm gonna stop it, I guess. So I'm out, see ya, and thank you.